Yo, what up, y'all? Doing another video. In this video, we're talking about the eat enough myth, why skinny guys undereat even when they think they don't. So, a little bit of background. I used to be skinny, and I swear I would eat a lot, even though in reality I probably wasn't. I eventually cracked the code after being a natural lifter for 15 years, completely drug-free. I've guided countless other young men to grow. I've helped countless men go from skinny to putting on size, and from fat to losing weight as well too. In this video, hopefully I'm going to help you uncover some hidden undereating reasons and help you consistently fuel real lasting muscle. The plan for the video is to expose some undereating traps, clarify what actually is eating enough, and help you I'm going to provide some practical, consistent nutrition paths that you can actually take. To be honest, I know what it's like to feel like you eat all the time, but you're not seeing any weight gain. I know what it's like to feel frustrated and feel like you're blaming your metabolism. That's a common issue that a lot of young, natural, skinny guys deal with as well. I know it sucks to feel like you're feeling small all the time. The truth is, it's actually simpler and harder to admit. So, in the meantime, what I'd rather have you do is imagine what it feels like to fill out your frame with some actual muscle fueled by smart nutrition. I want you to imagine what it'd feel like to feel energized every single day, to feel strong, and to feel in control of your body and physique as well too. And I want you to imagine what it would finally feel like to eat enough each day and actually achieve the calorie goals that you're trying to hit every single day. So if that type of thing sounds cool to you, sounds interesting, I've got more information just like it. You can check that out in the link in the description below. So let's go over a few things here. Number one, the eat enough illusion while you're still under eating. Underestimating intake drastically. That's one thing that a lot of young, natural, skinny guys who are trying to build drug-free muscle struggle with. A lot of you guys just kind of guess what your intake is like on your calories rather than actually tracking them and actually counting them. The issue is that when you guess and when you eyeball these things, a lot of the time you're going to underestimate how much you're actually eating. Another thing is that a lot of you guys confused feeling full with actually enough for growth. This is another common issue too for skinny guys. A lot of you guys eat until you're full, but when in reality, you're not actually eating enough calories at the end of the day. So sometimes you need to push past full, or you need to properly track every single meal that you're eating to ensure that you're actually getting the calories that you need in order to grow. Another issue is inconsistent eating patterns. A lot of you guys, especially if you're skinny and you've struggled with diet and nutrition for a minute, you probably, there's a good chance you don't eat like in the morning. Maybe you skip breakfast or you skip lunch too. And a lot of people will do that, and what will happen is they won't eat the entire day, and then maybe it'll come dinner time and they're super hungry and they'll eat one huge meal. And they'll think, oh wow, I ate this huge meal, I must have had enough calories for the day. But the truth is if you were to track how many calories was probably in that meal, there's a significant chance that it's probably not enough, because even if it's a big, huge meal, like you need to actually track the calories in order to check if you're actually eating enough calories for the day. Because you can't just guess, you can't just keep guessing. It's complete guesswork, and you're never going to actually truly know unless you count your calories. So, that comes from a lot of people also skip meals due to feeling busy. People sometimes rely on bulky, low-calorie food or not tracking accurately or unconsciously moving more. So what that is a lot of guys tend to underestimate their activity level for the day as well too. So, you might think you don't move a lot, but when in reality, maybe you're someone who walks a lot during the day, maybe you fidget a lot, and you believe it or not, but fidgeting actually can eat up a lot of calories burned if you're someone who fidgets all day. Like imagine if you're the type of guy who someone who bounces their knee up and down on the floor. Like if you were to do that all day, every single day, you're going to burn some calories doing that. And it's one of those things that people don't really quite think about. But if you are someone who just fidgets a lot, there's a good chance you are burning a decent amount of calories. So for me personally, I was one of those people who used to skip a bunch of meals, and I would just rely on a huge dinner to try and get my calories in. And for a minute, I always thought I was getting enough calories in. But once I finally started tracking, I found out that I actually wasn't eating enough. I was drastically lower than where I needed to be. This isn't just me. I've had countless other clients tell me the same thing, where they eyeball it. They don't actually track their calories, and they tell me, yeah, I probably eat 3,000 to 3,500 every single day. When in reality, once I taught them how to finally count their calories and track their calories, Turns out they were logging around like 1,800, sometimes 2,000, 2,500. The point is, it's not about the numbers that they were eating. The point is that they weren't eating enough compared to what they actually thought they were eating. Like, it was drastically lower. So the fueling fix, how to consistently eat for growth. Consistent, sustained caloric surplus. This is something that's super important. It's pretty much the essential and one of the core building blocks of putting on real natural muscle as a drug-free lifter. Pretty much you need to be in a caloric surplus every single day. So what does this mean? Basically, it means figure out your maintenance calories. If you don't know how to figure out your maintenance calories, I've got videos teaching how to do that, or just leave a comment below and I can briefly explain it to you. But once you've figured out your maintenance calories, pretty much you want to eat slightly above your maintenance calories. That way you're in a caloric surplus, and you want to do that every single day. Another thing is to focus on nutrient-dense foods, because although you could get your calories in and protein in through crappier, like sugary processed foods, I'll tell you right now, you're going to feel like crap and it's not worth it. I would 100% of the time much rather prefer you try to do your best to hit your calorie goals and protein goals through nutrient-dense whole foods. I know it's not going to happen every single time. Like, you're going to eat junk food here and there, and that's okay. We're all human. It happens to the best of us. It's okay. All our diets aren't perfect. But to the best of you can, try to be 99% whole food, clean diet all the time if possible. So let's go over some steps now that we can take to actually solve a couple of these issues that we've talked about. One thing that's super important is to track everything, at least initially, that way you can see your real intake. For me, like I mentioned earlier, I used to not track my calories, and that was a huge mistake, because once I finally did start tracking my calories, I found out I was not eating nearly enough in order to gain muscle. So I advise everyone who's watching this video who doesn't know how to track their calories, learn how to do so properly. That way you can start to build real, natural, lean muscle. Another tip you can do is to prioritize liquid calories. This is a good idea if you feel like you're under eating, you're not getting in enough calories. Filling in your calories with liquid is super easy hack, because it's easier to drink your calories rather than to eat them for most people. So what I typically recommend to my clients is to drink smoothies, fill them with full dairy, so that's like whole milk. Use nuts. Nuts are super high calorie too. Splash a little dollop of olive oil in there too, and you'll fill up your calories no problem. Some healthy fats like avocados are really healthy for you, really good fats as well. Plus, they're a little bit higher calorie compared to other things you could throw in there, like fruits and veggies. Fruits and veggies are definitely good for you, but they're super low calorie, and that's not what we want. Another thing is to have a consistent meal schedule. So we're talking about 3 to 4 big. We're talking about having 5 or 6 small meals rather than 3 or 4 big meals. I wrote this incorrectly. Both of these options are way better compared to just having 1 or 2 large meals, is what I'm trying to say. So you're much better off having 3 to 4 bigger meals or 5 to 6 smaller meals throughout the day, rather than just trying to rely on 1 or 2 big meals to fill your calories for the day. Because a lot of times you'll get full off just 1 or 2 super huge meals. But like I said earlier, if you were to actually track those calories and figure out how many calories are in that meal, there's a good chance it's not enough. Protein. If you want to build muscle as a young, natural, skinny, drug-free lifter, it's absolutely essential that you eat enough protein each and every single day, as well as hitting your calories for the day too. It's not just about calories. You also need to hit your protein goals. So I'll make it super simple for you. You eat the same amount of grams of protein as you weigh in pounds. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you eat 150 grams of protein. If you weigh 130 pounds, you eat 130 grams of protein, and that's daily. That's the amount that you would be eating daily. So quick summary, for me personally, my gains started to finally explode once I consistently tracked my food, tracked my calories, tracked my protein intake. That's when I finally started to see strength gains as well as physical gains too. I don't care how much training you do, how much time you spend in the gym, how many hours you spend in the gym every single week. If you don't count you don't have to necessarily count your calories, because if you learn to eyeball it, that's okay. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're not getting enough calories in and enough protein in every single day, I don't care how much training you do, you're not going to grow. That's a simple fact. That's as simple as it can get. So in a nutshell, that's about it. We've gone over a few things here. Hopefully you guys can apply some of these things to your life and your training as well too, and start to see some real life gains. However, if you are looking for more, I offer a complete A to Z program that is literally designed and crafted for young, natural, skinny guys who are trying to build drug-free muscle. I'll say it again, young, natural guys who are trying to build drug-free muscle. So if that sounds like you, it's definitely something you should check out. I'll put a link in the description below. You can check that out completely for free. There's no cost to check it out, just to go see what kind of information I can provide. But yeah, that's about it. I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. So peace out. Hopefully you learned something.